Well, hello, and welcome. This is Joan with the Jewel Design. Thank you for joining me today on this, I believe, lovely Thursday. We'll see. I'm coming on real quick this afternoon. I did not get things ready for the ephemera part of our Tuesday project. See, I did get the cover done. At least first half of the cover, not the back. But I figured we'd get together and do a quick how-to signature for something like this or anything else sort of unusual. So there are many times where you get digital kit. This is usually for digitals. Digital kit, horizontal and or vertical, right? So we are doing more and more vertical layouts, right? A vertical layout for a skinny journal, horizontal for typically what we call a 9x6 standard journal, where you just fold your page in half, cut off the edges that may print white, and away we go, which I've already cut the white off, so we're good. And we fold it and we throw it in with a bunch of papers and we're good to go. Now, a couple years ago, I sat down with Laurette at Vintage Paper Girl. We were doing a flip-flop journals. I was doing one, I think, in this vintage greetings kit, and she was using a pink shabby kit. And to keep from having to cut off the eco dye, the distressed, we didn't want to cut up a actual vintage piece of paper, like a document or a piano paper or whatever. We simply folded the bottom, folded the top, folded the sides in, or folded them unusual to where one side was one length, the other side was longer or shorter, and folded things in to make them fit the size of the journal we need. So that's what we're doing today. I printed these out. These were my rough drafts first round. Wasn't sure if we're keeping them, but I printed them. They have ink on them. I would like to use them. I'd hate to waste the ink. A lot of them are great for writing on or photo memory, photos, memory keeping, just pretty. Some of these are just pretty. Some of these are definitely writable now. And I wanted to use up the papers that I had. So we are going to size it to fit this pocket folder that we are creating that has our 10 pockets in it, right? And according to the subbie's request, we'll decide whether or not we actually sew in this signature or not, but it does go with it. But in the meantime, I would like to do a sort of the semi-tutorial and what I would do and what I've been doing lately when it comes to, I printed this kit, put it aside, then try to match it up to a project and realize it doesn't work the way it is, and I want to not waste the paper or the ink. You could do this with directional scrapbook paper, where you're like, oh my gosh, perfect page, but it doesn't fit the way it is because it's, it's a very directional scrapbook page. It could be 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11. Now 12 by 12 is a lot more folding, but say if you have an 8.5 by 11 piece of scrapbook paper and it's double-sided, which is all great, but it's directional and you're like, well, I need a horizontal layout, but it's a vertical page. How do I utilize it? How do I still use it? But for the most part, it's for those of us who printed digitals, didn't use it, got sidetracked, got a different project, or changed our mind on how the project worked, and realized now our pages don't just simply fold in half and get stuffed into the project. So what can you do? So for this guy, we decided we were going to put a sort of a semi-traveler's notebook size because it's smaller than your standard journal, but it's not a skinny journal, and it's not a full 9x6, wouldn't fit inside a 9x6 cover. It's definitely shorter. We are going to measure these out. I don't want it to go up here. I don't want to go below here. It's 8 1/4 tall, but I think only 4 inches wide. We're just 4 inches wide in that middle section, which just comes up to here, right? Gives me a little playroom in case these start bunching out, which if I fold these, I cannot trim it off like you would a standard book. A book gets cut, bound and glued together, and then they cut all the edges off really smoothly, right? So you got a nice clean cut book. Well, journals don't always clean cut. We let things stick out and move around, and with this we will have those differential moments where all the pages aren't going to perfectly line up, and that's okay. But what I definitely want to do today is take and find our focal points within our pages and fold things back to match the width of what we need. Because I'm sorry, I don't want to lose access to these pages. They go with the kit. They look great with that insert. And if not, I'll find some Christmas paper this goes with, or Christmas fabric that this goes with, and we'll totally do it up. So to start off with, this is one of our main ones where I don't want to cut off anything major. I don't want to be losing a bunch of graphics. But I feel like the bell is somewhat our middle point, and 4 inches gets us right to his shoulder, I think. Yeah, his shoulder, which not a bad thing. Could totally do it. Sort of go down the bell, right here at his beard / shoulder, puts this little piece on the back side, and oh, I'm off camera, and that would be okay. Okay, so because these are now been cut down, and so they're not 8.5 by 11. They are, I think there's an 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so which takes off 1/4 of an inch. It's like 10 3/4 or 10.65 by, 8 2/3 or 3/8. Something interesting like that. It just depends on how your printer does its job. We have different things. So, hold on. I am looking for, how wooed. I'm looking for my score tool, which I'm wondering, gosh, please don't make it in front. Oh, there it is. I'm like, please don't make it off to the side somewhere where I've buried it in the project. Okay, so what we're going to do as best we can, if I cut straight, let's hope that we, did everything else straight. Let's go there. I'm going to go with a bigger tip just to make it a little easier on myself. I'm going to use this line that's up here. There's a line here that should line just up about the same. Find a spot. Now you could just find the straightest point to give you access, I guess. Make it as easy as possible on you to help score your paper, to help you stay within your dimensions. Now, this is going to be my front cover. But he's a Santa. How could I not put him there, right? How could I not? I want him to be front and center. I love the other one, but he's on the wrong side. So I could make this center, but I think I have a few other pages that do not have the only Santa image on our right side or left side, or so it would be the right, left side. So I'm gonna have to fill those differently to be able to utilize them and not have them be on some weird backside. Okay, so there is that section. Right now, I picked down the middle to make this work, but I'm gonna want to go only 4 inches out from here, which just shy of it, I guess. And I'm trying to see, again, let's sort of line it up with the bottom, straight as I can. And we're going to score it again. Now I did score it on the other side. I'm sort of pressing through both halves. So I can always make the other half smaller or shorter as I go. No one says front and back have to be perfectly the same. But, so I don't have to cut anything, doesn't that make a beautiful tuck, right? You glue here, you glue here. We can decal this a little bit. We can add some lace to it, and it makes a wonderful tuck on this page. Or it's a nice wide washi band, belly band on the page, and you simply write beside it. So depending what you need to do, you can decide whether you want to glue it down and it's just sort of a belly band after it's inked, like a washi tape to your page, or it becomes a tuck option. Okay, so there's your first page. Okay, it's in the forehand now. Ooh, here's where we might have issues. I didn't think about that. Okay, so I said 8 inches or 8.25 inches, and this is 8.25 inches. Thank gosh. Okay, so I'm so far on these guys, I do not have to fold down. Everything's gonna be folded back. Folded back or forward to give us the right width of the page that we need. Thank God. Now my vertical pages, that'll be different, which we'll do one of those next so you get to see both sides. Now on this side, I need to fold them back, and I mean Santa is going to be right here, which not a bad thing, not a problem. You can also decide, which I think I'll do on this one, is come up just shy of it, just shy of middle. Okay, so when you get to the back of your page, see right now it looks very not straight. Well, it could be my cutting too. I'm like, I try to cut along the lines of what I've got, but that doesn't mean I'm doing a great job. Let's see if we can, there we go, try to even that out a little bit. In this case, when we get to the back side, when we get to this side, okay, you're going to see this, but it's going to be open like this, so you know to open it and you have all of this to write on. So you get to expand the width of your writing page without expanding the actual width of the page it's sticking in the journal. So in here, it doesn't matter what side it's on, when you come to this page, you're going to see this cute little thing. You're going to see the next page behind it, like you see, and all you have to do is open it up. So I can put a little thumb notch in it, so you know to maybe grab it and go, oh, I can open it up. Oh, my cat. Okay. Or if you didn't fold it quite as much, you could put a tab in it, top or bottom, to know to open it up, which I could put a tab on the top and know to open it. Hold on one sec. So sorry, ladies. Okay, sorry. Cat wanted out, but it's got limitations. Anyway, so you can start folding your pages according to the imagery and what you want to do with it. We can round the corners on this one so that you can tell that there's something going on with it. Okay. Because we don't know yet if we're going to glue this down completely or use it as an edge. So we're going to leave that open. Okay. So one down, one to go. Or many to go. Then what you would do, so that's what you would do back and forth with any horizontal page that you have. Simple as that. Now, on this end, this is a vertical, so we definitely need to fold. Now, this image was up higher. I could fold it backwards and make it a pocket, which we'll do, I think, with the other one. The other one's sort of a digital journal card type feel. So this one, even though it's a little weird, I could fold it up, and this bottom is still not super upside down weird, that we can make this a pocket on this one. So actually, let's do this. We'll do a little bit of both. So this one needs to be only 8, I said 8 1/4, which eyeballs us at, let's see, 1/2 about here. This tree line, weird tree line is. Okay, so we're gonna go here, give or take. We're gonna score it, hoping I'm going straight, right. We're gonna make a pocket. Now you could fold it up and make it a pocket this way, so you have this pattern page to decorate with this one. And I might even cut this so we can fold it both ways. That sounds like a really fun idea, actually. So that's what we'll do. So we'll have one, I mean, the decorative page is definitely this side is on the same side, huh? Well, it's not as pretty on this side for fun. And this is the more decorative end, so this is what we want to leave on this side. And this is the side we want to pull up, but it's only going to be here to decorate. So, technically I said, yeah, I would cut it in half and see which one, like flip it reverse. But it's a bummer because, yeah, I put this all sort of one side where I have very decorative on one side, and this is very neutral on the other. Either way, right? But our biggest thing is this guy right here at 4 inches. So where is our 4 inches? Our 4 inches is right here on this gold line. Okay. So now I think it's going to leave us some on the other side. And I definitely don't want to have, can you check to make sure he's still on the bench on the far outside by the plants? I laid him out there. Sorry, my daughter came by. I was like, can you check to make sure he hasn't gotten crafty with me? He does try. Luckily, there's one bench that doesn't go too far. It weighs enough that it doesn't take off or fold over or collapse on him. All right, so minus the fact that I can't cut straight or fold straight. I think the thing moved when I did. So there we go. There's our sort of, now if you ever find out that, now in this case, it's not too far off. And I'm probably just going to then, we're going to do a deco cut up and down this side to make it fit the 4 inches that I need. Easy peasy. Scissors. Oh no. Did I take them aside? No. Oh, they're right in front of me. Everybody okay out there? Okay. So, sorry. Gotta talk to the kiddos when you have to, right? Ugh. I want to cut that, but I'm not having any luck with the cutting job. Hold on. I'm afraid if I use my scissors, it's not going to go. Let's do this. So I just realized there's a little white up here. It is not folding perfectly straight. So let's utilize, maybe. There we go. It's amazing how you try to get underneath something and it just warps. So let's do this. I'm just going to slightly trim it just to make sure. All right, the bottom is looking good. We'll cut it up for our pocket, so it's fine. So yeah, I'm a little bummed that the really pretty side is also the side that requires us to, now this is the side that is going to potentially be what you see. So I feel that sometimes when we have pockets anyway, doing a diagonal cut is very helpful, right? To make it not so bulky in the middle. So we're going to do sort of the same thing so that I can fold this up and not worry about it getting too weird either way. So I really wanted to do it like this, where this is just a plain page right here. You see Merry Christmas here. We have a pocket here. And on the back side, we have something a little bit more decorative. So I think that'll work, because if it really gets to me, if this sort of weird, We can put lace, trim, whatever to go across the AM, and we still have some decor. So this is just a pretty page for us. This is a pocket on the next, you know, on that side, a pocket on that side, a single page on this side. Nice, easy, writable piece of paper. Piece of paper. Yeah, piece of paper. But I'm having this, I'm going in, oh, what was I thinking? Oh, if it needed to be cut. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we need the deco cutter because it is a little wide and I don't want anything sticking out more than necessary. So it's just a little bit on the wide side. So we're going to bring it in just a little bit. Try not to get it to move, which is easier said than done. Oh, gotta love that. So that when we fold it, there we go. We're almost the same length. All right. Each page you can decide as front and back, side to side, whatever, what kind of characteristics it has. Otherwise, I do think I want a lot of these pages to be more fun. We're going to do at least a quarter round on the page that seems to be just sticking out sort of on its own. And as much of it as possible. Now the bottom, not so much. It is a pocket. We don't want it to get in the way. But to make this more festive, I could round those corners or even this one. Maybe this outer one. So you're sort of putting the pages together, folding, tucking, doing what you feel you need to give it the personality that it needs. Okay? So here we go. First one. This is the deal. As I was talking about, you go to the next page, right? And this was on the outside, so it opens up all this writing space. Now, I did this type of concept also for the Autumn Mushroom secretarial that had all the fun flip outs, but it had a traveler's notebook journal sort of tucked in or sewn in, and I didn't want to cut the pages. I didn't want to cut the papers. I wanted it to have its own merit. And I swear I did that at 4. But when you fit it in here, it's sticking out. So we got to make sure that when we do some of these pages, we really get in and out so we don't go too far beyond. Because right now, it's already, you know, every time we do something, we're getting closer and closer to the edge. Not a bad thing, because with that, we put lace and trims, and sometimes we want it sticking out. It just depends on how we want to seal that. It makes that determination. Okay, so there's those two. Now this one, we don't have that flexibility on the bottom, because I don't want to lose any of this lovely cluster. So more than we need to, right? It probably only goes to here as it is. This is going to go on to the other side, but we're going to fold this down this time, and we're going to make it more of a tuck up. This one is just decorative. I might cut it off. I don't really want to. We're going to come down. So it might be that we do like we just did, slight cut, so I can fold it maybe or whatnot, but we're going to make it definitely pocketed. So let's start with the top first. Let's do our up tuck and see what our 8 1/4 is. 8 1/4 is here. Let's flatten it on one side. I'm using the 0 and the 12 lines way over here because they're perfectly straight along the paper. So I know that it is flat on some end, just like you find the straight edge and you square off your paper according to one edge that you decide is the straight end. And then you square everything else off to make it work. So here we go. I am going to fold it down. Okay, so in this case, one side page is going to have a lovely sized up tuck, right? We're going to create a journal card just wide enough that's decorated on the bottom, but that we can tuck up into this. We'll glue it nice and tight so we can tuck something into it and decorate this accordingly. Now, this though, on the other hand, this side, I really don't want to, what's the word, block a lot of this. This is our decorative, and I just want decorative across the top. So like we did with the other one, we'll probably cut it at that halfway mark, wherever the 4 inches, and then we're going to fold this up to make it just a thicker belly band on top with a little bit of weight, so we can put lace and trim across the top just to help decorate this page. So that's how we're utilizing it. We're doing a little cutting, but we're not cutting anything off. We are simply slightly cutting a slit, so that we can utilize it to our best ability. And I've done this before. I did this with the altered book. A lot of papers didn't just get folded one way or another. I would cut up the seam or cut down the middle, and you know, we flipped and flopped it to get what we needed. So this one, we can trim the side off. So I'm going to go just a little inside the 4 because things are going to get thicker and thicker as we go. And I'm going to use a thicker ball, and we're going to, I hate when it moves, and that's my bad. That's operator error on that one. We're gonna go a little under the 4 so that I can make sure that we aren't sticking out every single page, because every page is only gonna stick out farther and farther because, well, you're tacking on paper. Now, this one is also gonna get folded. I'll have to fold backwards to fold forwards. I need to find my thing. Make sure we're as straight as we can get. Probably off the bottom, maybe. No, I can trim off the bottom. So, not that I want to, but trimming is one thing, slit's another thing, but we just don't want to sit here and actually trim off a bunch of stuff more than necessary. Now, this is really tight. I could fold this in. I could fold it in. I could fold it in and glue it down and make it as tiny little, that's a thought. Okay, let me see something here. I had a thought. I wonder if we could make it a tiny little bit of a, sort of a washi tape type feel. So in this case, when you really do have such a small piece, I pulled up the, Kat, can I help you? I pulled up the, and I didn't do it enough, so we're going to go in a little bit. Oh, you're in the way. Okay. I'm like, what is her problem? I have cutters and things in her box. She's not happy with me. There we go. We can make it we can glue it down, make it a belly band, not a belly band, wrong word, I'm so sorry. Washi band, I hope my nails aren't making a washi band feel here, right? We glue it down, we ink it, we glue it down. It looks like we put washi down the side of the page. And in reality, we did not. We're gonna go all the way up with it. Now, with that is going to make the pocket though a little thicker. We are going to go this way with it again because it is, the Santa's sort of on the left side. So if I fold it backwards, either way it ends up on the left. I think we're going to open it out this way instead of it going that way. So, go this way. So we're going to glue this down. We're going to glue this down and this down, right, to make our tuck. And we're going to we will want to put a little thumb notch in here so that people know that that is tucked up underneath there, I think. I know when we do a pocket down below, we definitely put a thumb notch to make it easier to pull things out of. I don't think up here we need to, though. I don't think it's as obvious, so I think we can leave it. So the only thing we have to do is cut along, cutting our slit right here. Cut it at a slight angle so it doesn't get in the way. Okay. So that way we can glue this down, we can glue this down. So when we are putting one thing after another in here, we're not getting too thick in this edge. And this one, I am simply going to, I'm hoping is enough, to fold I'm folding it in half to meet up with the line that we had. And folding it down again, and look at that. So I do need to clean it up because we cut it at an angle, so there's an excess amount right here. But we aren't actually cutting anything off. We are simply folding and cutting. So there we go. So now we have this beautiful thing that this gets glued down. I'm not going to tuck anything in. We're just going to glue it down and make it a little thick. We're going to put like our red lace on there, right? We have this beautiful red lace and go across here, and we can put a little bling over here. I have some fussy cuts that I did print out for the pockets, but if we have something left over, definitely put a fussy cut up here, right? Definitely going to decorate this pocket. Of course, we're going to decorate that pocket. And ink it all, but we're going to use that as our flap. Okay, so which also goes in here, but we're not using it. See, this one I folded it back because there wasn't a Santa on it. It's just a decorative page. When this one, we're doing it like this because I want Santa not so much on the back side here. I want it a little bit more here. So when you're flipping through, it's on the left hand side or it's on the right hand side. And you don't have to, I don't know about, something about the being on the folded back side bugs me. But we may have a few pages we have no choice. Okay, so how are we doing? So I may have gone a little shorter on the front cover. And I feel like everything else is definitely sitting inside. So this one's a little long. This first vertical one we did, came out a little tall, a little wide. So I might, before we get too far, trim a little bit more off here. And maybe even here. So both of these I think I'm going to cut up, and we're gonna decal just a smidge more. Just a little. Because I feel it is sticking out and I really don't want it to. I know I can't make them perfect, but I do feel like we need to try and do a little something, right? It is the fun thing about a flip-flop journal that when you do a flip-flop journal, this is not, but when you do one, it definitely, sorry guys, it's fun to have the pages in different sizes, different shapes, different places. But I would think that the extent, the farthest point of your page, the width of your page, the biggest width of your pages shouldn't exceed each other by, you know, an eighth of an inch here, you know, 16th of an inch here or whatever. I feel like it either has to be a very definite difference, like this one, where we are on purpose, for decorative purposes, folding it in half, except for when you open it to write on it, right? And it is our back page, which is great because it means it lays hopefully somewhat flat to write on, or memory keep with, or whatever we want to do, okay? So we have pocket or washi, pocket, up tuck, writing, pocket, and flip out so far. Sometimes you will rearrange these pages according to what they do so that you feel that you're not too heavy on one side or the other. It's also keeping in mind as well, where are all my pockets? I have one up, one down, one bottom, nothing here, but here's a pocket or a tuck, and this one's a flip out. So you just try to keep it sort of balanced. It is funny, it is our last page. It is actually short of everything else, but look, it's up against this gorgeous Merry Christmas last 2 pages, which works really well. So we want to make sure that we keep this at the back, because if it is, you know, it's, what is it, 6 pages is 6 or 7, 7 pages, so it makes it 14, I don't know, 14 plus. I know we have pages in here. I don't know, I think it's at least 28 plus pages, and so it does help. Now, this one is very similar to the other one. We decide where this one might be right here. This is the back side that gets flipped backwards. This could be a center fold, actually. So we can decide if 4 inches is here, both go backwards, this stays in the middle. Let's see how that does. So if I want to center her, there's 4. Where's 4 on this side? And 4. Yeah, it pretty much means like we have these strips that go, both of them go backwards to be on the outer right and the outer left page. And again, they could be washes or they could be tucks. We may decide that this being the center fold, that this is, it is definitely our, these could be tucks, where we are going to put larger journal cards or tags on each end of this one. So I want to sort of center her. So we're going to go back right here where this piece of cute, what do you want to call it? Paper is, music sheet thing is. We'll use that as our eyeball. Yeah. Okay. Now, on downsides, when you score, you have to, it doesn't let you go the other way. Don't know why. I know I have to fold backwards. I'm not sure why I have to fold backwards, but I do. We'll do this. And of course, they don't match there for whatever reason, but that's where I decided to choose. And that's okay. They don't have to be equal. Now, we need to find where that 4-inch mark is. And we're going to be in the middle. All right, we'll go a little ways in so that we aren't exactly, you see, we're trying to say under the 4 so that it doesn't stick out beyond the cover much. If I can help it. Now this is going to work in our favor. We are going to fold backwards and keep it backwards. Where'd you go? There we go. I was like, where are you? There you are. I'm like, come on. I'm not pushing hard enough, maybe with my score tool. Now you can use a bone folder. There's this. There's a couple different things you can use, as long as it just has a rounded edge that you won't rip into your paper. So here, I would definitely glue it, put a little thumb notch. We're going to tuck a large journal card, I think, into this page, because I think when my larger journal cards fit beautifully in here, I mean journal tags fit nicely in here, so they'd be a great backside, right? So this one, if I just don't feel like worrying about it and I don't really want to measure it, but the pages were different, I'm going to just eyeball it and try to keep it within the same length. There we go. So they don't have to be the same width. You're going to go off whatever you want to point out, because I sort of wanted to center that. The tree's over here. Beautiful centerpiece to our signature. So we're starting to lay things out according to what I've got. and making the most of it. So there we go. Ta-da. Sits inside. See, nice and good. See, there we go. So we've got cover, we've got pocket, we've got middle. And these are definitely going to be what I want them to be. But I need ink though, so I'm going to try not to do that. But try not to remember. So I may not make that a tuck. This may be a just decorative belly band. Now if I feel it's too thick for a belly band, I really want more writing on that cover. In this case, I could fold it back just like we did with the top. Could just decide to cut it in half, take my chances. It's just a little bit of gold and poinsettia, and we have a thinner strip of color, but a thicker edge, which is, there's nothing wrong with that either. Some weight to some of these pages so that we, can feel them while we move around is not bad. Okay. Now, the rest of these I have, I'll do one of them and then I'll let you go, I think, because this one, I could do it either way. If I wanted another up pocket, because I only have that one sheet, I could turn this on its side. No one says it has to be directional. And we can do the same thing. I fold it up and I have one up, one down. But these guys are really cute, I think, with the background page as our, hold on, I gotta find my 8. Let's go the other way. Like, wait, where's my 8 1/4? 8 1/4 is, oh, jeez, it's so hard to see these days. There's my half, there's my quarter. Okay, about there. All right, so right here. This one I think is cuter or more doable. Make sure I don't lose it. A little under, that's okay. This I think with rounded corners and the middle and the edge, I think we could fold it and leave it. Let's see which way. One's out, one's in, right? One's out on that side. Oh, they're both technically folding the same direction. Isn't that cute? So we could do it inside. Yeah, let's do it inside. Now, is this 4 inches or am I too wide? Where's my 4? That's right at 4. Okay, so I want to make sure. Close as we can get. Again, I could do the decal cutting if we felt it was just too wide. It stuck out. We decal, we corner, we're done. So this one, pretty simple. Plenty of writing space. Leaves us pockets here. To make it less bulky, I could do the angled cutting, but we'll see how it's doing. If it feels like things are getting too, what's the word? There we go. That with that. That on that. There we go. Sort of. Some we'll get back-to-back writing space. Others we have, half and half. I don't think we have any back-to-back decor right now, which is good. There's always a writing page no matter how we do it. But yes, that one definitely sticks out. So we want to do the same thing here like we did with the other one. We're going to, it is longer than 4. Didn't look like it, but once you folded it, I'm going to do a nice tight, use those fingernails, put them to good use, and let's find the 4-inch mark on my thing. And we're going to go just inside it. And we're going to, especially where that pocket is, wow. But it's the only way to get it because this only takes, 8.5-inch sides. So I can only do so much. Oh, here we go. So there we go. Pocket with pocket, and it's simply finding pockets, tucks, and washi band feels to make it work without, see, I didn't really have to cut anything, and it's still sticking out. See, things are starting to stick out more and more as we're putting more pages in it. Yeah, I went to 4 inches. It's still sticking out. So when we're all said and done, if that looks like there'll still be a problem, we'll cut it down some more to fit. Now, I keep thinking this is 4 inches, and I'm wondering if I came up short. Like if I went under 4, and that's why I'm having such problems. No, it looks like I'm almost exactly 4. So everything else is just stacking outward. So when you're done, you definitely want to go back and do everything you can to thin your folds as much as you can. So get your bone folders, your silicone, whatever you have. Go across all your lines. Make sure you really are, it's not scoring, what's the other word? Brandishing, I think is the word, close to it. Down your folds so that things lay really thin, really flat, and it does help with some of that waterfall staggered feel of the papers. but that is something we just usually deal with as a junk journaling makers, because, you know, we cut all the pages the same size, and then we go, oh, well, wait a minute, why aren't they all coming out in the exact same spot? Well, they were all individual side by side. If they were stacked on top of each other, they'd all hit the same spot, right? And there are ladies out there who do a lot of bookbinding, and they have small sections of pages that they cut exactly. They fold it, they cut it clean, and then to do more pages, they do put multiple signatures in there. So where, you know, a signature could be 5 pages, 10 pages, 2 pages, but then the spine looks really cool because it has some really fun sewn in spines. So I have a lady out of, I think she's Germany, a language I don't understand. I mean, she translates in English for Instagram, but I'm afraid her website is completely in German, or another, and I can't order anything from her either. Well, I can't order any, they won't send anything right now, but I mean, beforehand I couldn't order anything from her because I couldn't read well enough to figure out exactly what I was ordering. Yeah, visuals were helpful, but the sizes were off, and I was like, I don't know, I can't tell what she's asking me. Anyway, but she does beautiful sewn jobs, and, you know, normally so you can see that spine and the pretty signatures, or the pretty sewn in jobs of the signature. So there you go, ways to start utilizing different directions of your papers, different ways. Cutting it in half wasn't a bad idea, right? So you could do different things to each half, or folding one back, one forward. You're folding it this way to make a tack, this way to make a pocket. This way is just like a washi strip. We did the same thing over here where we just, where'd it go? Here we're going to glue it down once it's sort of inked both sides. We're going to make it look like washi so that it's out of the way, but, you know, we can tuck in, giving some weight to some of these pieces, having something fun where this opens up all the way. And I think we're going to do the reverse of this one on the next page. I think we're going to go short here. Because one of these has something of that nature, when the other, you know, these next two pages are really minimum, but I feel like we need to do this, so what was the width of this one? Sort of the reverse, and this is only 2, 5, 6, what is that, 4, 5/8, it's only 2 5/8, so I think we're going to do the reverse. But if I want it, let me think, 2 5/8, so it's this side, I think. Yes, so this is where the fold is, and it goes that way. Okay, so 2 5/8 this way. Let's do this one. This one's cuter, I think. This one might be the right size. I'll try to figure out what direction and what graphic we'd want to not maybe fold into or fold back. So 2 5/8 is perfect. It's right here. So we're going to use that as our point of return and fold. And I really just folded it in from that inward. So 2 5/8 is actually 5 inches, and we only have 4. How did that pan out that way? Oh, because we folded this and that. Yes, okay. So she's... Oh, it is 5 out. That's how I... Okay, yeah. Duh. I'm like, wait, going backwards with it, right? So we're going to fold this one in, double it, fold it again, and then this side is going to get folded back. And it is going to block this, but I may fold it inward and you just open it up so you can see all of it and write on it. So we're going to do it, I think, a double flip out and not actually glue anything down, so that you can see all of it, but it's folded back to where it doesn't stick out beyond the page. So we'll do it this one. Let's do that. Let's go here. We're going to make this work in our favor. But it's all about how you fold it and what images you really want to make your focal point. When folding it, making sure it sticks within your parameters. And I just went down the middle of that page, huh? Not bad. All right, so this one's a little wider than the other one because I wanted the present. Close enough. Now, that's the fold right there. So then we're going to fold it here, and there may just be a little bit here that's going to fold accordingly. And this is not lining up the way I want it to. I moved it in the process of doing it. Okay, so then I'm going to go skinny right inside here. Try to line it up again. That's a little hard for you to see, I know, but there we go. Let's find the spot and hope for the best. Just enough to where I can go either way with this. I can. Nope, other way. Okay. So this goes here. We know it's a page, so we know we're going to do this. The page is just going to open up and let us write on it. This goes inward, but that is too wide, right? It's not. We need 4 or less inches. So definitely want to go under a little bit. So it's just a little. We're not folding a whole lot back, but we are folding something back because it is too long. I know when things are all folded, we can't, you know. So what we're going to do to this side is simply let it fold in. It's just decorative. Again, we're going to keep the corners. If we're going to write on it and we're not going to glue it down, we're cornering it, inking it, having a great day with it. And it's just folded in as something sitting here, but it lets you open it up and write all the way across if you want, right? Or I've done before, I've opened it and I've done cute little pictures that I have glued on here and folded it down. Or even down this way, you can put cute little pictures or ephemera here, and then you open it and there's all this writing space. Like, there are ways to use this strip. I did it in my December daily last year. I had a couple folded pages and I just put cute like Polaroid photo booth type graphics and put our pictures like down a thin slide like that. So I used it that way. That is a little tight. I don't want to trim it off, but okay, so this is going to go here. So it is a duplicate of that. So maybe we don't want to put it right there. Let's break up this exact, right? Now the nice thing is when you open this one, look, you have this all the way across the page at the decision writing. This whole thing can be written on one fell swoop, which is a wonderful memory page. It lets you put all kinds of fun things on it while writing on it. This, again, could be photos, could be to-do lists, can be wish lists, can be lists of whatever, Christmas music, movies you watch. You know, there's fun things to do with every one of these. No one says, but that helps give us a longevity on that one. And then this one, again, same thing. It's on the other side, and it's that long ability to write on it and do memory keeping with photography. But I do notice that this is a little on the tight side, and I don't want to refold it because it will never come out the same. So let me see if I can. Where did I do the blue? I'm seeing if it'll fit in the blue one. I don't want to deckle it, but I'm going to see if I... No, it doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't. All right, I'll have to do it later. I'm going to probably have to trim just a little off and re-corner it because it is a very tight fit. I definitely did not give myself a lot of room on that one. I ended up folding it. Yeah, it's not going to work. So yeah, I'll just slightly trim it. Don't want to, but sometimes, like just like we did with the decal, we have to deal with the rest. Okay, so we have that. I love that end there, so whatever goes inside. So things are starting to stick out. The more we get in here, the wider things are coming out. So I think this last one that, you know, we folded up where we're going to have, that's the one that's sticking out right now. And it's not the centerpiece. Isn't that funny? That's our centerpiece, and it's not the one sticking out. It's the next one in. So we'll see. Unless I decide there's just enough back and forth in all of this that it's okay. If it doesn't stick out too far from the journal cover when we're done. So then last one. Now this one, I don't know. We've done bottom pockets twice. We've done cover and inside one where we just folded it for writing space. We have one up tuck and one decorative. That's our two. We have plenty of bottoms, 2 side tucks. Now, I mean, I could completely do something very unusual, and we could folding it in half. Doesn't do us any good unless it makes it very interesting. I was like, we still have to fold it this way, and we still have excess. So I was like, well, we could fold it in half and drop it down, and I mean, Obviously that would be upside down. I was like, oh, we could do it where you fold in half and it's, you know, it's a page that ends up being a pocket. That one's fine. That's upside down. So that doesn't work on that end. Oops. Okay, what else creative way can we use this? Because right now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there's 24 with, you know, some pages that give us some excess panels, right? So there's 24 pages with a few excess extra panel writing abilities, right? It just widens the panel, the writing space. We're at 24, which is a 1 day, you know, 1 per day for December daily, except we do have pages like this and this that you can't write on, and those two you can't write on. So yeah, you'd have to figure out. So we definitely need these 4 to help make up for those 2 or 4, you know, 4 that we can't use, because we can write on this and write on the back. I always go right down the middle and fold it both back, but that's sort of boring, because if I go here, then it is about, what are we at? 5 1/4. Yeah, I think we're 5 1/4. 5 1/4. We only need 4, so it's like 1 1/4 on each side. That has to be folded back, and that's no fun. So what if we do one more tuck, I guess, on this side? We're gonna fold this here. Could be another writing page, which I am not planning on ordering. I'm not planning on adding any other papers to this. I don't think. Maybe a vellum. If I decide to print a decorative vellum page just to break it up, but I think we're about to have this really well laid out. So that is a little over 8 still. Oh, jeez. Okay. Like I said, we don't want to trim anything, so I am going to refold this one. Ugh, I know. I could do the belly band thing like I did with the other one, but I think we can get away with that. Let's just do a little bit more there. Fold it in half. Not that I can't decal this one side. Yeah, okay. We're going to go back a little bit. I don't want to keep going beyond our thing, and I'm just going to decal edge that one side just a little. We're going to have a few pages that have that rougher page look, which is fine. But I'm not cutting off massive design. I'm not cutting off major chunks of the page to fit in. So this one, actually, yeah, maybe we could do we can do a tiny little fold, and we're just going to glue it down as a belly band. We're going to, not a belly band, as a washi tape feel, because that seems to be my fun thing right now. We're washi taping this thing without using washi tape or paper tape or anything else. So why not? Let's just do this. I can go either way with it, but I think we're gonna, I mean, I don't want to block the image on this side. So instead, even though I know I'm folding it right now, give me a moment. Oops, wrong one, too far. Nope. Wow, that was the worst. I hate when the paper fibers do that and you're like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted it to be. 47 minutes. Even though I'm trying so hard to be so quick, but I'm trying to give you ideas along the way. So you could do it that way, but I think I'm just going to have a pop of color here, and we're just going to glue it down. And then round the corners, and we have this sort of washi tape feel right there. But I do, like I said, I sort of want to ink all edges and then tuck them in so that you can see that shadowy feel, so you can tell that there was something added to it. But I believe that gives me, yep, inside the page, all good. Let's find a spot for this. I don't know which way we're turning it. I notice we don't have anything here. Oh, but I don't want to block that. So that is why. Okay, so we added that one there. Wow, we've got a lot of pale colors going on right here, don't we? I'm wondering if we need to. Oh, but I didn't want to remove that really long page option. So let's put it here, I think. Gives us something different, maybe. Go here, then it's back to back. We definitely have a lot of back-to-back options. This is gonna be a journal card, but you could write underneath it. And there's that. Okay. I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss that last 2 pages. You know, sort of makes it our Merry Christmas, you know, spread. This is your last page, right, to write on for, say, December daily, if that's what you wanted to do, or your memories from Christmas. And oh my gosh, that still doesn't fit. Does that not? Oh, that got worse. Seriously? I did not fold it enough. How did I not fold that enough? Isn't it 4 inches, or did I get it beyond 4? Ooh, it still ended up being beyond 4. Okay, shoot. Wow, nothing's perfect, right? Can't put anything else in there. I don't want to add any more creases here. Not that I can't add actual washi to that. Like, not that I can't add washi to that to make that disappear, or trim, or paper trim to make that disappear. Because that's what's too long. And it's not this over here, it's that one. Oh, how rude is that? How dare I, right? Yeah, so we're gonna have to get crafty and figure out how to cover up our folds. Because this is not something you can cut. It's like you can't cut that off. You have to get it underneath. So we will, on that side, the way it is, we will do some kind of light trim to decorate, washi tape, sticker thing, lace, something light to hide the fact that we did goof and have to fold it more than once. No, but it's made with love. So, eek, where are we at? Hold on, get my papers here. It's one thing when we just have to trim a little off. It's another thing when we have to, when we're like, oh, it's folded and there's nothing I can do about it. And it still sticks out. Nothing I can do about it. What is that one? That's our center. Oh, so now that we're done, the center is definitely. So, yeah, it's just getting out farther and farther as I go. So it does require me definitely going really tight in there. But, wow. Another way to hide it, of course, is for every page that isn't folded, you can add trims and laces to the edges of those pages to help it make up that difference. So these are really short, these are not. So we could add some lace and trim to the edges, the outside edges of these things, to make it stick out just a little bit. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't cut anything off. We folded up or folded in or out. We made slits to help fold some more, but we did not actually slit it to fold it under to glue it down. Folded it in, right? Fold it in or back, fold it up, slit it to fold it up front and back, right? This one went, when that one stayed, this one got slit, so one went one way, one went the other. But we didn't actually cut off any massive amounts of paper to make it fit the journal that we needed. Ta-da! And it sits right inside. And even with all the mishaps, it really does, for the most part, sit right inside our journal. So if we really, nice and tight, make sure that everything is really thin, sew it nice and tight together, because I can see right now, like I can tell that there's a gap in there, but keep it really tight in here, really tight. And yeah, the one page that's bugging me is definitely, it can fit in there farther. It's just, you can't, I can see the gap. We do it nice and tight to the spine, to the cover, make sure it's really firm in there. It all but fits inside and doesn't stick out. So if I wanted to stick out, we put trim. If we don't want it to stick out, I think we can get it in there and sew it nice and tight. But I love how it sits just above our fuzzy, but it doesn't go into the angle up here, so we don't feel like it's sticking out up here. Because I didn't want it to stick out up, along. I liked the angle on the top of this cover, so I didn't want anything to really get in the way of that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I have now 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, which is 28 pages, a little more than one a day for Christmas. There's only a few pages in here that we can't write on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 pages we can't run out of the 28, which gives you 22, but you have some extended life out of a couple of these to give you more space. You could double up on the day, 1, 2, 3, close, right? So, all right, not quite a full December daily. Definitely, for a 24-day, 25-day, it's cutting it a little close. So I might find one more piece of paper if I feel like we need to break up all this beige. There's some light colors here. Maybe we need one more piece right here. That gives us another color option, but that we can write on, and we have plenty of pages because, yeah, front and back aren't written on either. Wow, I'm just shrinking pages left and right. Okay, it's a 20 writable pages. But memory keeping, right? So there's still things where you can put a photo here, you can put photos here. You can find places to memory keep, especially for a December daily on here. That doesn't require, you know, writing per se. And you just have those crucial moments when you really want to write something in. You could do it that way too. So it has potential. My December daily last year was only in crucial moments. I had maybe a dozen moments or less that I just documented it on a couple pages each time, and you know, it wasn't a daily thing. So many options, especially in a traveler's notebook. Doesn't have to be every single day. It could just be what you really want to remember, and you're all good to go. So thank you for coming along in this signature idea on ways to use your pages that you've printed and you just, you know, you don't want to reprint them, or you can't reprint them for whatever reason, and you have to put them to good use. And here's a way: simply folding it to match the journal that you have and not losing any of those yummy images that you have on those pages. Love you all very much. We'll talk Saturday. I printed out the ephemera, so we will start decorating ephemera to tuck into this pocket folder. And then we can decide. You guys can let me know whether or not we sew this sucker in and it's a beautiful piece for somebody for the holidays, or whether you guys want them as two separate entities. That holds ephemera, and I put a new cover on this one and a few extra pages and whatnot. We make it a December daily type traveler's notebook. So you'll let me know. Love you all real soon. Bye-bye.